The Samsung Galaxy Book Ultra has had some changes from 2023 to 2024. We have the Book 3 and the Book 4. And I've actually done a head-to-head review between the two as far as the performance, but I'm going to talk through the different changes. And if you've yet to consider this laptop as a creator, it's definitely one to keep your eye on. Now, first and foremost, from 23 to 24, we've gotten a touchscreen laptop, but it is not pen compatible. So if anywhere throughout the video, if I mentioned that it may be pen compatible, know for sure after research, it's not pen compatible, but it is a touchscreen. Now, as far as the quality of the display, we have the same great 2880 by 1800 at 60 Hertz, 400 nits of screen brightness at 100% sRGB, 97% Adobe RGB, and 98% DCI-P3, all at a delta T of 0.42. So it has a large color gamut range, and the accuracy at which the colors are reproduced on the display is very accurate. Now, looking at that, we also want to consider the battery life, since we now have the Intel Core Ultra 9 185H versus the i9-13900H. We're seeing an extra hour and a half of battery life out of the Book 4 Ultra, and that is going to be an advantage to those who want to be more on the go. Now, it's not substantially more battery life. Like if you want to get the Book 4 Pro 360, you're gonna have 16 hours of streaming video playback, so this isn't the battery life guru, but for a laptop with an RTX 4070, that's a solid battery life. Now that's all coming out of the 76 watt-hour battery, and this is a solid thin and light chassis. You can see the weight and thickness coming up on the screen. It is super on-the-go friendly, and it's absolutely amazing the power and the flexibility they have packed into this chassis. Now let's take a look at the ports on the laptop. We have the HDMI, 2 USB Type-Cs on the left side panel. On the right side panel, we have a micro SD card reader, USB Type-A, and a headphone jack. Now, the one thing that I really do like about this laptop is though we don't have upgradable RAM, we have 32 gigs of RAM in the model I have before me with the RTX 4070, but we do have upgradable storage. So we have the boot drive, which the laptop comes with, and we have an open M.2 slot. So you can easily go ahead and put extra storage in the laptop by pulling off the bottom cover and upgrading the laptop. It's really easy. You pull off the bottom feet, the screws are removed, pop the bottom cover off, upgrade it, and you're good to go. So that's really nice. But if you don't want to go through that much effort and you also want to bring extra storage on the go, the micro SD card reader is super handy to expand your storage. With a little micro SD card, you just pop in there. It's backup footage, super simple. Love that feature. Now, for those of you that didn't get a chance to check out this laptop last year, here's a quick sample of the webcam so you can see what that's like in use. This is the webcam on the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, and a little sample of the audio for you as well. And for the speakers, really, really good audio experience. Here's a sample of the speakers in use. Now, as we open and close the lid, you can see it's done easily with one hand. One thing you're gonna wanna make sure you do when you get this laptop is there's a little plastic or like paper stickies on the bottom of the feet. Peel those off, because if you don't, your laptop's gonna slide around the desk. It's a mistake I made last year. And I was like, look how much it slides around. And it was just because I hadn't removed those little pieces of paper. Silly, but yes, I know. Now, as we open up the top cover, let's check out that bounce. Let's see if you were to use this on a plane or in an Uber or on a train. It is a little bit bouncy, so just keep that in mind. It's not going to be something that's super rigid. So, if you're going over some bumps in a car or on a train, it might bounce a little bit. But one thing I really do love about it is it has a very rigid top cover. That aluminum top cover is very rigid, very sturdy. Really good job from Samsung there. Now, looking at the keyboard deck, I love the quick access to the settings. You can switch through function and then switch through your different fan modes, high performance, quiet mode, optimized mode. That's super nice. So it makes that really easily accessible. Also, you have a numpad, a fingerprint reader, and a nice massive trackpad. Now, in addition to this year's model is of course going to be the Microsoft Copilot button. So if you're somebody who really wants to access AI, going from the Book 3 to the Book 4 is going to be an advantage to you with the Ultra on that feature as well. Great trackpad, super quiet. It is a manual click, but it honestly feels haptic. It's just very responsive, very quiet. I'm gonna give you a sample of me using both the keyboard and trackpad so you can hear what it sounds like in use. Now, if you're curious about the exact pricing and availability, you can head down in the description below and click those links. Now, I have seen some sales for the Book 3 Ultra and also some sales for the Book 4, especially if you have like a trade-in value. There's a lot of flexibility going on. So I would keep an eye on those links to see if you can find the right sale that works for your price point. Taking a look at the pricing on the Book 4 Ultra, you can see that from Samsung's website, the Intel Core Ultra 7 will be $1899 with 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte, and an RTX 4050. Upgrade that to the Intel Core Ultra 9 with 32 gigs of RAM, RTX 4070. It'll be $3,099. Now you can save a little bit of money, $100, by going to bestbuy.com. The Intel Core Ultra 9, 32 gigs of RAM, RTX 4070 is going to be $29.99. And then the Ultra 7 is going to be $1899. So you can see comparatively, it's going to be the same price for the Ultra 7, but you're going to get a little bit of savings choosing the RTX 4070, that $100 in discount. Personally, I would choose the Intel Core Ultra 9. It's just going to be the best bang for buck as far as the performance. You're going to get 32 gigs of RAM, the 4070. It's just a better performing laptop, especially if you're already going to be putting that money in. If you want to get a more affordable laptop, something like the Lenovo Yoga Pro 9i. I've done a head-to-head review. I'd consider that laptop, if you're looking to save a little money, not go with the, lower powered Ultra. So check out some videos on my channel. I have some head-to-head reviews that will help you with a buying decision. Links are in the description to check the live pricing in case something's on sale. And if you do use those links and make a purchase, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. Okay, now let's go ahead and jump into the benchmarks. This is an area that we're seeing some improvements over last year's model, but not massive improvements. The thing I'm going to drive home most is that the efficiency with the new Intel Core Ultra 9 185H is where we're seeing improvements. So we're seeing a better battery life, like we saw earlier, then we're seeing these massive boosts in performance. However, there is one area that I did see a solid boost in performance. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But looking at the simulated benchmarks, as we move into the Puget Systems Photoshop benchmark, you can see it really stands out, scoring a nice middle of the charts 6754, right where it needs to be with the other Intel Core Ultra 9s and even some of the i9-13900H CPUs from last year. You can see the Lenovo Legion Slim 7i, the Galaxy Book 3 Ultra i9-13900H from last year. What we're seeing is those higher TDP processors are going to run hotter, but they're going to be less efficient, which gives us that lower battery life. In last year's model, the newer models with the Intel Core Ultra 9 are going to be more efficient. Okay, but still we're seeing great performance. 32 gigs of RAM, really good power draw, giving us great performance in the apps, and of course still having that RTX 4070. Now, one area that I was honestly very surprised to see improved performance above last year's model was 3D modeling. Both Autodesk 3ds Max, Autodesk Maya, PTC Creo, and SolidWorks all saw improved performance over the i9-13900H. I did not expect that because I expected that higher TDP gaming laptop processor to draw more power and give us more performance. But actually, the more efficient processor combined with the NVIDIA GPU RTX 4070 showed better performance. So I was really stoked about that. How for 3D modeling, we're getting both improved performance and improved efficiency. Super cool stuff. Now going into video editing, we're gonna pull up the playback here. 6K playback in Premiere Pro, only 24 drop frames for B-RAW, 589 for red footage. That's about a 2,000 drop frame improvement over last year's 2023 model. Super awesome stuff. Now looking at the 4K 9-minute clip, we placed a 9-minute 4K clip into Premiere Pro, then exported out at full quality 4K settings. You can see we did that export in 2 minutes and 21 seconds over last year's 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And of course, it's right there with some of the other laptops. Even looking at the Asus Zephyrus G16, the RTX 4080, you can see it's a 2 minute and 19 second export time. So like neck and neck there as well. Pretty amazing stuff that this laptop is right there with an RTX 4080. Now looking at the 6K export time, that's a 9-minute 6K clip put into Premiere Pro, exported out at 6K quality settings. You can see it's a really good export time at 19 minutes and 33 seconds. Now that RTX 4080 is going to give an advantage. I'm going to point out the Zephyrus G16 again. You're going to get a 3-minute advantage by that RTX 4080. Definitely improves the export time with having a larger dedicated GPU. However, the advantage of going with the Samsung Galaxy Book is going to be, of course, the touchscreen opportunity that you have with this laptop. Really nice large trackpad. And you have the Samsung ecosystem. Whereas with the G16, you miss out on the Samsung ecosystem if you have a phone, a tablet, anything that really connects everything together. If you hear bang, bang, bang in the background, they're nailing up and doing construction in my kitchen. And so I'm sorry about the background noise. The big advantage of this laptop this year, as we've seen throughout the video, is going to be the efficiency, the new touchscreen capability, Windows Copilot button, and improved performance for both 3D modeling and video editing. So links in the description if you're ready to make a purchase or compare the live pricing. Otherwise, click the links here for more comparison videos to help you with your buying decision. I'll see you in the next one.